Bonitas, the affordable makeup just keeps coming in at Ulta. So we're gonna be doing a full face of new affordable makeup because I got a lot of new and I can't wait to share with you what is worth it and what is not worth it, okay? So keep watching to see how we transform esta carita and also to see a little bit of a wear test. So vamos a empezar. Please don't forget to subscribe. That really helps us continue to grow this channel. Y vamos a empezar. Start off by prepping the eyelids with this new-ish concealer that I've been testing out for a while. This is the Maybelline Lifter Concealer. I've been really enjoying this concealer. Out of the two that I have tried from the drugstore, I would say the Maybelline is better than the e.l.f. in my opinion, even though the e.l.f. is very, very reasonably priced, which we love her for that. But I did notice that there are some new concealers that are affordable that are coming into Ulta stores. The CoverGirl has one. CoverGirl has one. Also, the one that I'm most excited about is Essence, because you bonitas know Essence is the most affordable brand at Ulta. So they are launching their $5 concealer, which I am eyeing, and it's not in the store yet, but as soon as it is, I'm definitely going to be picking that up, and I'll be sharing that in a future trying new affordable makeup video, so stay tuned for that. Very, very excited for that. So we shall see how that does. So I already prepped my eyelids. Oh shit. I'm gonna take one eyelid off because I just remembered something. So I almost forgot, but Essence launched their Jelly Grip eyeshadow primer. It looks like this. It literally looks like a gel. Looks like aloe, honestly. And this is supposed to be a long-lasting and intensifying eyeshadow primer, and it's crease-free. So whenever I saw this, I was a little iffy because I personally am somebody that likes something like this. I like something that's going to make my eyelids look one color. So this is a little different than what I'm used to. I did try this twice already. And first impressions, I was iffy because I'm like, okay, this isn't going to like conceal and make my eye look, you know, like this, like evened out. But what it does do really well is it creates a really good tacky consistency on the eyelids, which you can see right there. And it really helps everything that you put on top grip on really nicely. So I'm just gonna leave this be, this side with the concealer how I typically would go in with it, and then this side with the Essence eyeshadow primer. I wanna say this is about $4, but this creates great grip. It's as if you had the grip primer for your face on your eyes. So now following off of that, I'm going to go ahead and take eyeshadows. I'm gonna be using these liquid eyeshadows. We have some new formulas from both e.l.f. and also from Maybelline. Maybelline has these really pretty like shimmery ones, and then e.l.f. has launched these really, really nice matte formulas. And they have several different colors. This one that I picked up was in the shade Current Mood. They do have another one that really intrigued me, but it was sold out. It was more of a brown shade. This one is kind of like a plum shade. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be putting this all over my lid, back and forth. It grips on so easily to that Essence eyeshadow primer, and there's no issues. If you can see that, like there's no issues of it separating or looking, you know, a little off. Like it looks really good. So look at that. To be honest, I'm impressed. I'm also very impressed with these eyeshadows by e.l.f. They're a nice velvety consistency. These do, I want to say, retail for $9, but they blend like a dream. So if you're somebody that's looking for something really easy to apply and to just quickly blend into your eye, these new eyeshadows by e.l.f. are going to be the ones. Like this velvety formula is so good. It's liquid, but it just blends like a dream. And also a little bit of this product goes a very long way. So you will not be using a lot of product. Therefore you won't be going through this that quickly. Like it's going to last you for quite some time. Oh, something else I want to point out. So I'm just blending this out on this side as well. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed how these e.l.f. eyeshadows applied. Very seamless. And when you first apply them, it may be a little scary, like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of pigment, but once it blends out, it literally looks perfect. And like I said, less is more with any liquid product, and definitely with these by e.l.f., like less is more. And tell me this eye doesn't look a little bit more pigmented than that eye, right? The color, like it's more vibrant. Go ahead and take the Maybelline one. This is a like shimmery color, and this one is in the shade Brass Drip. Now these I've also been testing out, and they come like at an angle, which you can see. Do you see that pointed angle? So they come at that angle, and with these you want to be precise. They apply best with the applicator. These also do dry down quickly, so just keep that in mind. Something else I will say about these Maybelline eyeshadows, these liquid eyeshadows, is that they kind of have like a cooling sensation to them. Like when you apply them to your eyelid, like they feel a little cooling. And the very first time I applied them, I was like, wait, is that a cooling sensation, or is this gonna irritate my eye? Because I can have sensitive skin. It didn't irritate, but it definitely did feel like a cooling sensation. So that's just something to keep in mind in case you do experience that when you try these out. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It does, like, again, like I said, it doesn't irritate my eye, but it felt a little weird. So I was like, ooh, ¿qué es esto? But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take both colors and kind of blend it out, just so that it's a little bit more seamless and it's not like really harsh. Something else too I want to point out is that with these eyeshadows by Maybelline, you do want to go ahead and work a little quickly, because if not, once they set, they dry down. They're like eye tints, so you do want to work a little quick with them. So those are the eyeshadows, and I do want to go ahead and swatch it. So I'm going to start off with Brass Drip, and I'm going to put Brass Drip right here, like so. It's very, very pretty, right? It's a pretty like wearable shimmer, I would say. Like you can wear with lots of different skin tones and look absolutely stunning. Then I'm going to go in with Current Mood by e.l.f., and I'm going to be putting this one right here, like so. Those colors work really well together. Let's see, a matte and a shimmer. So now we're gonna move on to our eyeliner. So for eyeliner, I'm gonna be taking this new Reina Rebelde eyeliner. This is their Rebel Eye Definer Liquid Matte in Exagerada, and it is a felt tip liner, like so. This is a really nice felt tip liner, and I love a tip liner where I can go in and really have control over how I am placing the eyeliner. I only like to do like a little half wing. Something else I like about this liner is if you are somebody who likes a matte liner, you're going to really like this. Now we're gonna move on to mascara, and I'm gonna be using the Extensionalist Telescopic L'Oreal Mascara. This, you're about to see. I've been using this, and if you watch my short on it, I've used it there as well. But we're about to use it again on this long form YouTube video to go a little bit more in depth. I'm just going in and curling my eyelashes because that's part of my routine. I do have very straight and short lashes. So right away you can see this is a really very nice, fine and precise mascara wand. It kind of has like a little dip in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply mascara on every single one of these lashes, really coat them as best as possible. Now I will say with this mascara, I don't feel like it gives me any intense volume, but it does give me so much length. It also gives me a lot of good separation, and it definitely gives the curl. Like I feel like it holds up that curl very, very well. So you can see, like look at that difference. Apply this. Also is a very creamy formula. It's not like clumpy or thick. Sometimes some mascaras can be clumpy and thick. Also, I've had this for a few weeks now, and I don't feel like it's drying out. I feel like that's another thing too. Sometimes with some mascaras, they can just dry out very easily. This one is not doing that. You can definitely see the difference. And it's interesting too because this mascara, when I went into Ulta, it was the one mascara that there was like none left. Like there was literally just this one left and I was like, oh wait, there's only one left. I need to try that out. I'm like that type of person. I'm like, if I only see one of something left, I'm like, oh, that must be good. Everybody's trying it. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to start on Complexion. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with this other Essence product I have, again from their Jelly Grip line, and this is their Jelly Grip Under Eye Primer Stick. And I'm gonna apply this on the under eyes. Ooh, it feels so good. It feels really nice and cooling. Like a really good cooling sensation. And I'm just gonna blend this all out. It has a good tacky grip to it, which is definitely great. Then I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the product that we're gonna use all over. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Lift and Fill Skin Tint in the shade 130. I will say, Revlon, there needs to be more shades. The shade range is just, to me, unacceptable. Now, I'm trying this out because I saw that it was a new product and I wanted to let you guys know, in case you're wondering about this product, if it's worth it. Now, this will be my third time testing this out. The first time I tested this out, I was like, what is going on? Again, like I said, this is the shade 130. And you're about to see why I was like, what is going on? The shade does pull a little bit gray, I would say. But look at this. I'm like, what is that? It looks like Hollywood Flawless Filter. Like, it just gives too much of a glow for a skin tint, in my opinion. Like, it looks like something you would apply under a foundation or mix in with your foundation, not necessarily something that I would wear on its own. So I was a little spooked, but we made it work, and I'm gonna show you how I made it work. And also I want to show you how this looks so that, again, in case you are curious about it, you have some, you know, information to go off of. But this is another one too that isn't cheap. I want to say this is like $17. So it wasn't the cheapest product, $16 or $17. But I also just feel like if you're somebody that does not like radiance or glow, or something that's going to make you kind of give Tin Man vibes, or if you have texture and you don't want it to be enhanced through the glow, this is not going to be the product for you, unless you don't mind spending $17 for it to be a product that you mix under your foundation, or sorry, with your foundation, or wear it before you apply foundation. I will say though, it blends out really nicely and seamlessly. It does cover a good amount of that redness, which is a good thing too if you're somebody that's still eyeing this. Maybe you have more so dry skin and you do want to glow. It will cover your imperfections with nothing with the skin tint, but it just has way too much of a glow for my taste. It almost, I feel like, makes my skin look silver. The first time I used it, I was like, wait, am I gonna have to take this off and put something else on? But luckily, we didn't have to do all that. Okay, so I am gonna read a little bit of this product. This is the Photo Ready Lift and Fill Skin Tint. How many shades they have there, which, like I said, they need more shades. Even though it's a skin tint and they typically do less shades still, I think there needs to be way more shades. This is supposed to help give a lifted and visibly smoother skin. Skin feels firmer in 2 weeks. So it has like those skincare benefits, but I don't think this makes my skin look smoother, and that's because I have texture. You know, I have a good amount of texture. I don't have very perfected skin. Yeah, it says that you could use your fingers or you can use a sponge. I personally really like to use a brush nowadays. I do still love my sponge, but for stuff like this, I really love a brush. But this is what we got going on. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go in with, of course, the Maybelline Lifter Concealer. This is the concealer that I have been enjoying from the drugstore that's new. There are some more new options that are coming about, so I will keep you posted on those when they come out, because I definitely do want to try out the one by Essence. But for now, we're just going to be using one that I'm already enjoying, that I would definitely recommend from the drugstore. So because this skin tint isn't my favorite, I am going in and applying a little bit of that concealer in other places so that I can kind of like work together and marry with the skin tint. So that being said, I'm going to start off by blending out the under eyes, because we're going to be moving on to the next product, which is the NYX Wonder Snatch Powder. Okay, I do quickly want to give an update on this primer. It feels really, really nice on the under eyes. It gives a little bit of a cooling sensation, which I feel like in the morning is exactly what we need. Right now it is 8:31 in the morning, and these are the type of vibes that I love for a good morning type of feel, especially to the under eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this all out very, very seamlessly. And I'm just using my high-end brush. I literally cannot get enough of this brush by House Labs. It is the best concealer brush I've ever used. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and I'm going to apply the powder. I'm using the shade Peach Posse. Now, I had originally purchased this in a different shade. I think it's like Banana Brat or something like that. It was a little too yellow. Peach works the best with my medium neutral complexion. So I would say if you are looking into these Wonder Snatch powders, I would say a shade like Peach Posse will give you the most brightness and it will just look the best. So I'm applying that right under the eye. I will say, when I first tried this out, I really enjoy the formula. It's a very, very lightweight product. It's not heavy on the under eyes. It also works really well with the concealers and my creasy under eyes. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. Something too, the shade worked much better than the other shade. It was a little too yellow. So it wasn't a formula issue, it was just the shade was not working out for me. Notice the difference that it makes once you go in with the peach powder. I feel like it does give really pretty brightening results, which is really nice. It does a good job too, the powder, of like absorbing all of that shine. So you could also use this to bake in other areas. This does retail for $12, and you know, compared to the amount of product that like a One Size has or a Huda Beauty has. And the thing is, I agree, yeah, there isn't as much product in there, but also you're paying less than half the price. I want to say those are in the 30s. You're paying $12 for this. So yes, you will get less product. That's gonna happen. But I will say, if you are in a budget and you do not want to spend 30 something dollars on a powder right now, you'd rather spend 12, even if you get less product, I do think that it's worth it formula wise. I think it's a good product. Now, if you don't mind spending the extra money for a high-end one, like, it's comparable. The formulas are comparable. So there we have it. Now I'm gonna dust away the powder. Powder blends out so seamlessly. See, once we applied the skin tint with the concealer, I think everything just came together way better, which is why I said earlier that I would recommend that if you do use a skin tint, if you purchase it, it probably would work best under your foundation, or would work best mixed in with your foundation. Or what you could also do is you could apply it how I did. You apply a little bit of the product to even out like the cheeks if you do have redness, and then go in with a concealer that you really love to give you more of that coverage and not have it be so like, not shiny, but like so reflective, because I do feel like this product gives reflection. Okay, now that we have that, we're gonna move on to bronzing. So I'm still gonna be raving about these Milani Baked Bronzers. They are very, very nice. This one is in the shade Tuscan Tan, and I'm going to be using this product to warm up the face. I haven't seen a new bronzer at the drugstore, so I'm just gonna continue raving about the ones that I've been raving about the past month, because I do still think they are absolutely worth it. And if you're somebody that has been thinking about purchasing it and you're in need of a new bronzer, this is something that I would absolutely say you definitely should check out, because it's a really good formula and it gives really nice pigmentation to the skin, which I always love. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this all out. I'm gonna take a little bit of this here. I'm gonna add a little bit more. So right here, just to warm up the face a little bit. I'm gonna snatch up the nose a little bit. Just this. I like to use my cream contour, but I'm gonna switch it up since I already have this out. This just gives a little bit of warmth back into the nose. Okay, and then going off with that, we're gonna be taking another Milani blush. I've been really loving the Dolce Pink, but this is another one that I highly recommend. Ciao Bella. It's like a really gorgeous like red tone. Like, yeah, like a red. Yeah, I would say it's like a red. It's more so the red, but it's just very, very pretty and soft. It's not like super intense. And then for brush, if you are looking for a good brush recommendation for powder blush, because I do feel like powder blush is going to be a big thing this year, I would highly recommend this Makeup by Ariel Morphe brush in A22. You can find this at Ulta. This is like the best blush brush because it's fluffy. It really allows you to blend the product in so well in circular motions and give you the most blended out, diffused look of blush without it looking like overdone or enhanced, like too overly enhanced. Like, it's just perfect. And we're not done yet with Milani. Hopefully I didn't say Maybelline or Morphe, because sometimes too many M's. There are too many M brands, so sometimes I get a little confused. Okay, Milani. We're gonna finish it off with Milani, the third powder, the third baked product. This is Champagne de Oro. And I've mentioned, I'm pretty sure on camera, that I have been really loving highlighting again. Like, I didn't highlight for like 5 years, but now this year I started bringing it back into my routine and I love it. Like, I think it's so cute. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next product, which is this Revolution Powder Pops. These are their new setting powders, and I did pick this shade up in Peach. Now, I do feel like the shades are a little iffy because I don't think that this shade works the best on my complexion, and you'll see it's a little bit more, do you see how it's like a little bit more light? Again, I'm gonna use it so I can show you, but I was expecting the peach to be more workable, especially because, like I mentioned, I do feel like peach works really well with medium tan skin for like brightening, for some good setting, and I feel like this one is a little lighter than I would want it to be. This one is a talc-free product. It doesn't give like as much blurring, but it definitely does do a little something. And I'm gonna use this to set. Now, it looks way more pigmented when I go in with a powder puff. Like, it looks more intense, but when I go in with a brush, I feel like it gives a more softer effect. It doesn't look as like intense. So that I can definitely appreciate. But I'm just going in and setting all the places where I tend to get dewy. Like so. So I would say this one isn't my absolute favorite. I wish it offered a little bit more blurring, but it's not horrible. It's just that I feel like you just want to be careful with this, because when I used it with a puff, it looked very like light on the complexion. But now that I'm using it with like a small fluffy brush, I feel like this applies it more seamlessly, especially if you are like medium tan skin. You're not going to want something to be like too like light on the face, and I think that going in with a brush will give you more of that diffused look, so it kind of just almost highlights the face. If you apply it in the areas, for example, the T-zone is where I get very oily, so that's where I like to apply a pressed powder, and I do feel like applying that kind of almost highlights, brings attention to that midsection. But I do think that it's not as blurring as some other setting powders that I have tried, but it doesn't make it a bad product. I just don't think it's the most blurring. Okay, so now we're gonna be moving on to the lips. Okay, so for lips, I have a few things right here next to me that are new. I'm gonna start off with L'Oreal's Blur Filler Lip Contours. These I have been really enjoying. I love the shade, I think brown caramel, and then this one is in the shade Worth It Intense. These are so nice. And they're long wearing. They're really nice long wearing products. So I'm gonna go and line the lips. Now these lip contours are more so to like enhance the lip shape. They also are in this like chunkier pencil. They're not like lip liners that are super like tiny and precise. This can be used, you know, to create that shadow. If you want to go in and like shade the entire lip, you can do that as well, but these are just more workable. So I would say if you're somebody that could never get the hang of lip liners, I would go for something like this, because I feel like it's more forgiving and it's easier to blend out. And then I'm gonna go in with another L'Oreal product. This is their Hyaluron tints. These are lip stain tints. This one is in the shade Tea Time, and this is so nice. Like, I like this shade Tea Time because I feel like it's like a your lip color but better. So when the stuff on top fades, like this is still going to be on, and this lasts. Like this lip tint will last. It's like a red color, but it's like once it applies on the lips, it looks more so like a your lip color but better. So we have that, and then the last product I have here are these new e.l.f. bombs. This is the Glow Reviver Lip Slip Stick in Love Slick, and it looks like this. It's like a pink shade. I'm not really like a pink shade girl, like for my lips. I love the color pink, but like on my lips, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But on this combo, it actually looks really nice. And it works really well with the eyeshadow. Like it kind of all goes. So like on top, I do feel like this color is pretty. But swatch, it does look different. Like it on here, on the lips, it looks more mauve-y. On swatch, it looks way more pink. So I just think that it just so happens to work well with this combo by looking a little bit more mauve-y than it does right here. Now, is it the most long lasting? No, I don't think this color is gonna last you all day. You're gonna definitely have to retouch, but I do think that it looks really pretty and it wears really pretty on top of the other two products we just used on the lips. So that is the lips. Now we're gonna move on to the Morphe setting spray. This is their new life proof setting spray. This is supposed to be sweat resistant, transfer resistant. It's supposed to last todo el día. It's clinically proven for all day setting power that holds up in any condition. And it's going to give a comfortable skin-like finish. So this isn't going to be for like, ooh, is it gonna give matte results? Is it gonna give glowy results? No, it's just gonna make the skin look like skin. So I actually already did post a wear test of this product on my short content. One thing I will say is at the end of the day, I didn't notice the difference between having it on and not having it on. So that's just something to note. When I first applied it too, I used a white paper towel to kind of, you know, see if it transferred. It didn't, it did really well, but at the end of the day, I did have some transfer going on in the face. So let me go ahead and just apply this all over. Again, the mist feels great. It does have like a very refreshing scent. Like it smells like spa, like you're at a spa. It's just very refreshing. But I will have my short link down below so you guys can check that out. If you want something that's going to like bring life back in, ooh, I have it like all over my body now. If you want something that's gonna bring life back into your skin, if you went in with a lot of powders, I do think this marries the products well together. Do you see? Like I feel like now that powder that we applied almost kind of became one with the skin, right? Bonitas, so hair and makeup is done. Right now it is 9:04 in the morning. I'm gonna be wearing this for the entire day, but I'll also be doing a check-in at the very end of the day to give you guys my thoughts on how this all wears together. Right now it looks very, very pretty, but I feel like in the beginning of the day, everything always looks great. It isn't until later where you really see how things develop. But something else I wanna point out, I will have everything linked down below in my description box, as well as you'll see the items pop up on the screen throughout the video, which you can click on them, and then while you're watching the video you can shop these products, check them out, whatever it may be. This is what we are looking like. So I'll see you later. Okay, bonitas, I am back. Right now it is 5:04 p.m. We've worn this full face of new affordable makeup todo el día. So I have some thoughts. This is what we're looking like at the end of the day. Okay. So I have to say everything wore really well. Everything is still on and nice on the face, which I can definitely appreciate. Something else too that I am noticing is that, as you can see, the lashes still look really good. And let's look at the eyeshadow real quick, because while I was editing the footage, I do feel like the eye where we went in with the Essence primer, the makeup just looked a little bit more pigmented than the eye where we went in with just concealer. And I did check the price. This is only like $3.99. These are very, very affordable. As for the powder too, I love how this powder worked. The powder worked really, really well on the under eyes. I feel like that place is the place that looks like the most in place and matte. As for the complexion, I definitely do look dewy. It doesn't look greasy, which I can appreciate. Like there is a glow to the skin. much more enhanced glow, but it doesn't look greasy. As for the lips, like I mentioned, the e.l.f. product did fade, but you could still see the tint and you can still definitely see the lip blurs by L'Oreal. So there's a lot of good stuff in here. The only things that I would say you could pass on, in my opinion, are the Maybelline eyeshadows. I feel like I prefer the velvety liquids by e.l.f. a little bit better. They're also a little bit cheaper. I also would say the lip shines, if you have something like this consistency already in your collection, I don't think you need to get a new one. I think it's something you could pass on. And this right here, the Revlon Photo Ready, not the biggest fan of this. And then lastly, the Revolution powder. I wouldn't say they did anything spectacular, but yeah, those would be the items that I'd be like, you don't necessarily need these. But everything else, I really do like how it worked with my complexion. Now, as for the mist, I'm still testing this out. I wouldn't say this is best suited for oily skin. I definitely think for somebody who wants more so skin-like results, I think you'll enjoy this. Those will be my thoughts on this makeup. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you are interested in checking out new at Ulta that's affordable. Let me know what you could pass on. Let's go ahead and chat down below. I love interacting con mis bonitas. So muchas gracias. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That really helps me out. All the products are linked down below in my description box. You can check them out and you'll see pop-ups through the video that you can also click. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. Y nos vemos pronto. Adiós.